Premiership final day today as Pontypridd go in search of their fourth title in a row. Before we get to that, though, we'll touch on a row that's erupted off the pitch. It emerged during the week that plans are afoot to replace the Welsh Premiership sides in the British and Irish Cup with regional A sides. And the news hasn't gone down too well in Pontypridd. Beth Clement has been there to gauge the reaction.
The hundreds of Pontypridd fans arriving for today's playoff final against Ebbw Vale are hoping to see their team win yet another Premiership title. But talk around the club has been dominated by the possibility that they may not be able to compete in the British and Irish Cup from next season.
I'm very angry, very disappointed. I feel let down by the Welsh Rugby Union.
I don't know what it is about the WRU, but nothing exists north of Cardiff as far as I'm concerned. That's how bitter I feel about it, yes.
These young guys coming through now, they've got to have a link between here and going into the likes of the Blues region, for instance. And the fact of the matter is the British and Irish Cup gives them that option.
Well, if they can't compete next year, we're not going to get the home matches, therefore we're not going to get the big revenue.
What they're doing is they're denying players to come through and to have the opportunity to play in a higher level.
The community behind the club in the competition, and we think we can work with the Blues to make this work. We will be devastated if they are not there and given the chance to compete next year. That's all we want, is the chance.
The Premier Division clubs are absolutely set dead against regional sides being entered into the tournament, and the regions are recommending that A sides are. So there's an impasse, and the board will have to make a decision. That decision is yet to be formally made, but some of the noises that are coming from the backgrounds from some people in Welsh rugby seem to suggest it's a fait accompli.
The chairman, Gareth Davies, he's also gone on record saying that the WRU are not financing the Premiership for Ponty to win it every year. They have to think of the bigger picture, as I said. So what are your what's your response to those comments then?
Well, I respect the fact that they don't finance it for Pontypridd to win it every year, but they finance a Premier Division for somebody to win a competitive tournament. We can't argue for competition, for Wales to compete in competitions on the international level and for the regions to compete at their levels and not expect the Premiership to be competitive. I don't understand his reasoning. If
you had one message to say to Gareth Davies, to say to the WRU, what would that be?
Sit down and talk with the Premier Division clubs, and let's come to some arrangement where we can guard this status quo.
Well, emotions clearly running high in Pontypridd. They've called this move disrespectful, Gareth. They're aggrieved about losing their chance to represent Wales in a cross-border competition. Have they got a point?
Well, first of all, I'm not sure what is disrespectful, because no decision's been made. You know, Steve and Chris Clark from Crosskeys, they are two representatives on this group. You know, the Welsh Rugby Union haven't been involved yet. Okay, so Steve and Chris are involved. You've got Anthony Buchanan, a real, I think, a man of integrity in rugby, with Julie Patterson from the Welsh Rugby Union, and you've got Gareth Jenkins and Andrew Millward from the Ospreys. Now, they've met since December to discuss a total pathway from the European level right down to colleges to try and find that proper competition pathway to ensure that players do come through. So
that is the priority, rather than funding a Premiership to exist for its own purposes. It's part of
the priority is to make sure. Look, there's an element of the community game which is very, very important, which we need to nurture and grow as well. This is about a pathway through to ensure that players go to the top. Now, discussions have taken place. I haven't seen any minutes of those meetings or what have you, and until a recommendation. So I think Steve's comment there, surely a recommendation should come from that group to the WRU. Now, as always, I suppose in Welsh Rugby, there's never unanimity in a decision which, you know, where there are consequences. But at the end of the day, we will need a recommendation as to moving on. And you know, there is £1.5 million going into the Premiership, and the primary role of that is to produce players for the regions and the national team.
Right. So it's not a fait accompli, but your position as union chairman is that should be the purpose of the Premiership, priority-wise, to blood players for levels above.
I think Steve's point is right. Yes, we need competition. Any league, you have to have a winner and you have to have proper competition. But if it's just competition for competition's sake, why is there £1.5 million going in? You know, that money there is to invest in the game, invest in players to ensure that the national team comes through and is strong. So otherwise we'd have you know, otherwise the 300 other community clubs could be calling for money just to strengthen their leagues.
The thing is, we agree
great respect. We have great respect for clubs, you know, like Ponty and Crosskeys and Ebbw Vale. We've been there, we've played against them, you know, and we know what they represent, you know. But I think the thing is, I said this when Roger Lewis came into power, that I didn't think that Premiership was competitive enough, and it doesn't allow the youngsters to come through and really make their mark and take that next step up. And you know, if it's the B&I Cup, I don't care what they're called, who plays for it. It's just that all our best players have the exposure to that next level to get them to the regional level, and I'm not sure if that is, you know, happening at the moment.
I think the key to this is the LV is key to this, the future of the LV Cup, because if the LV Cup goes, you know, where do you blood those fringe kind of squad players for the regions? Because at the moment, you know, the regions all use that for the younger coaches, the younger players, run-outs in the LVs. If that goes, which I believe it is the year after next, then there is a massive gap between our Premiership and the regional level. And I think, look, as it is at the moment, you don't need to be a rocket scientist to see it's not working regional level. No. It's not working for the regions. So if we keep doing the same thing over and over again, we're just going to get the same results.
But also, I think the Premiership is maybe the most important league, because that is the one that keeps feeding the regions and the regions to feed Wales. So, you know, it's so important to get it right.
And there's total agreement on that. You know, so we had a WIU away day about a month or so ago, and the Premiership is critical for but we have to have the Premiership right, and we have to have that competitive pathway right.
Well, we are talking about the Premiership, so it's only right we go to highlights of the final out. It took place earlier this afternoon between Pontypridd and Ebbw Vale. Let's find out who came out on top.
Lock takes it. Drive comes on. Still going, that shell out of the back. And that's, oh, is he there? Yes, they won't go upstairs. Jake Thomas. Williams finds Humberstone. Good line outside him. Flat ball then to Dacey. Finds Nuttall. Nuttall turns inside and out, spinning and turning. Plenty of Ebbw Vale jerseys come in. Jenkins picks up. Still going, 6 metres short of that Ebbw Vale line. Williams, hands on ball. Finds Belcher, offloads then to Locke. Little gap through the middle. Great offload from the captain. O'Connor clears up. You'd expect the open side to be there. Williams again. Lockyer, Humberstone is an opportunity now. It's the replacement, James Howe. Inside the Humberstone, the outside half will go over for the try. On his final game for Ponty. Over the top from Shellard. He's cleared out. That's Williams, I think. Oh, here he comes again. Must be Davis. Incredible. There's an opportunity. Metres short, engulfed by white jerseys. Ebbw need this ball back now. 4 metres out. Langdon goes the other way. Sweet. Over the top, misses his captain, that's Williams. Owen Williams, the winger. An opportunity on the far side, and it's Jordan Howells goes over. James tackled to the ground by Godfrey. Langdon looks for a wide ball, it's a turnover, and this could be it. Owen Jenkins will race to the corner. It's a big way to come in across now. Can't make it from Owen Williams, and it's Owen Jenkins. Wins the foot race, scores the try, secures the victory for Pontypridd, and they will have silverware this season. They will take home the Principality Premiership final accolade.
Yeah, many congratulations to Dav Lockyer and his Pontypridd side. Back to the Pro